With an estimated net worth of $1.4 trillion, the royal family of Saudi Arabia lives a luxurious life that's simply a dream to many. From exquisite houses to flamboyant cars and breathtaking super yachts, the Saudi royalty spares no costs in acquiring only the best things. Let's take a look inside the life of Saudi Arabia's richest family. Family history. To understand what goes on in Saudi Arabia's monarchy, it is important to know their roots and origins. So let's go on a journey starting from the beginning to where the powerful yet controversial royal family stands today. In 1932, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was established by Ibn Saud, and since then, the House of Saud has ruled over the country as what many term an absolute monarchy. The king has total control over the land and is expected to answer to only the Sharia law and the Quran. Today, King Salman bin Abdulaziz sits on the throne, steering the wheel of the oil-rich country and Middle Eastern giant. However, the story wasn't always one of good fortune. Saudi Arabia was one of the poorest countries in the world, with their only sources of revenue being pilgrimage and agriculture. Under the House of Saud, this changed when oil reserves carrying an immense wealth of crude fuel were discovered in 1938. 3 years later, they developed friendly business relations with the United States, and thus began a journey into wealth and prosperity. The oil fields were developed by the Arabian American Oil Company, which is now Saudi Aramco. At the beginning of its operations, it was controlled by the United States, but today, the company, now worth trillions of dollars, constitutes a core part of the immense wealth of the Saudi royal family and the country as a whole. 2 decades short of a century after it was founded, Saudi Arabia is the only Arab country that's part of the G20 major economies and is recognized by the World Bank as a high-income economy with a high Human Development Index. On the 4th of March 1938, Saudi Arabia first struck oil with its first commercial oil well, and the wells are still flowing with vast resources today. This is the backstory to the wealth of Saudi Arabia's richest family. Now, let's dive into what this wealth has afforded them. Members of the royal family have been frequently termed lavish spenders, but when you have such immense wealth, spending is not a problem. Real estate. Murabba Palace. The first glance at this edifice shows clearly that it is an ancient building. Yet, even as it appears old and out of fashion, it holds a significant place in Saudi Arabia's history and is of core sentimental value to the royal family. It is a 32-room palace with 2 floors, which was built beginning in the 1930s and eventually completed in 1945 for King Abdulaziz Al Saud, otherwise known as Ibn Saud, the founder of Saudi Arabia. It appears to be a sort of mini-city with several buildings. The rooms were also built in a rectangular fashion, with a courtyard in the center. This is due to the culture of privacy, especially as regards private chambers. Today, the building is a museum to remind the people of their heritage and to also serve as a tourist attraction. It shows old construction and design techniques that were symbolic of Arabian culture. The Najdi-style architecture includes straw-reinforced adobe walls, cooling courtyards, and acacia and palm frond ceilings. On January 15, 2008, President George W. Bush watched a traditional sword dance at the Murabba Palace in the company of the royal family while on a diplomatic visit to the country. He was pictured holding a sword over his shoulder during the event. Again in 2017, President Donald Trump was entertained with the captivating sword dance at a royal banquet hosted in Murabba Palace. The palace is open to the public on specific days and times. The personal assets and pictures of royalty can be seen, as well as gilded doors and elaborate tapestries with gold lettering. It is a great reminder of the Arab country's heritage and a resource for anyone interested in going down memory lane to see how the empire began and how the royal family lived even before the heydays. Al Yamama Palace. This is the official palace of the royal family, from which royal duties are performed. Official meetings, VIP receptions, and council meetings are also held here, with the king and the crown prince overseeing the affairs of the kingdom. It is located in the country's capital city and is a clear symbol of the wealth and opulence of the Saudi royal family. The expansive compound gives the palace the semblance of a mini-city, with sprawling greenery carefully manicured to create perfect symmetry, and incredibly high walls, with carvings that depict the finesse of Arabian architecture. The interior is indeed a sight for sore eyes, with floor-to-ceiling paneled windows, the best Italian marble flooring, and carved ceilings. Expensive carpets add a luxurious and lush feel to the rooms. Other notable features are exquisite and elaborate chandeliers, gold-plated doors, and rich upholstery. Due to the royal family's penchant for privacy, not much is known about the interior of the palace. But we do know that there are 400 rooms in the palace, and several magnificent living rooms for meetings and lounging. Other palaces are the Al Auja Palace, located just outside Riyadh, and the Urga Palace at the center of Riyadh. These are alternative places for the royal family, for special events or on the occasion of unrest that threatens safety in the main palace. Chateau Louis XIV. This residence is the most expensive home in the world, but when it was purchased in 2015 for an astonishing price of $300 million, the buyer's identity was undisclosed. However, in 2018, it became clear that the castle belonged to Prince Mohammed bin Salman. One of the first sights on entering the castle grounds is a statue of Louis XIV, a highly revered figure in France, who is known as the Sun King. It was carved in Carrara marble and set in the middle of the expansive garden courtyard. Another fascinating view in the outdoor area is a fountain of gold-coated structures from which the water sprouts. Pyramid-shaped trees lead to a labyrinth, and the grounds also house a stable farmhouse. The making of this edifice took 3 years and over 200 skilled workmen. The hard work paid off, as the chateau embodies beauty. A gold-plated oak wood door ushers you in. It bears a sculpture of the sun god on horseback as a victorious Roman emperor. Inside, the interior has marble surfaces, specially commissioned paintings, ironwork, stone carvings, and silk drapings. The best technology was also incorporated into the building, with mechanized window shutters, ambient lighting, reversible air conditioning, and a powerful speaker system, all of which can be easily controlled from an iPhone. The home is complete with a 3,000-bottle wine cellar, squash court, ballrooms, a movie theater, an underground nightclub, and swimming pools. At the center of the drawing room, a breathtaking sight is embedded in the ceiling. It is a trompe-l'oeil painting of a paradise of flowers, inspired by a fresco painting done by Charles Lebrun for the Château de Vaux-le-Vicomte. After several months and immense effort by the best painters in the field, it was completed. Le Château de Lumière, being translated the Palace of Light, belongs to Khalid bin Salman Al Saud, the brother of the Crown Prince and Saudi ambassador to the United States. It is located in Great Falls, Virginia, in the United States of America. In 2017, the prince was still a student at Georgetown University when he acquired the property, which cost him $12 million. It has 8 master suite bedrooms furnished to taste, 13 bathrooms, a ballroom, and multiple living and dining rooms. Throughout the interior, there are rare customized antique sofas, gold-plated statues, and elaborate crystal chandeliers. The opulent residence is fit for royalty and features several amenities that make it a great abode. There is a spa, massage room, wine cellar, library, gym, card room, basketball court, and cinema. The outdoor area is filled with greenery and a serene pool in a relaxing lounge area with marble flooring, a cabana, fire bowls, Corinthian columns, and comfortable sitting. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal's palace. The prince is the nephew of King Salman and one of the most prominent businessmen in the Arab world, and the rest of the business world in general. In the heart of Riyadh, he has a phenomenal home that appears similar to something from a fairy tale. The floors of the 420-room building are covered in the best Italian marble, extravagant gilding, and silk carpets. With 3 swimming pools, there are multiple options on where to swim, including a gigantic pool built to resemble a lagoon with wild greenery and breathtaking natural aesthetics. Other amenities include a super large kitchen that can feed up to 2,000 people. Sounds wild, right? Well, there's also a 45-seat underground cinema with 250 flat screens. Much to the dismay of many, the palace has several stuffed animals made from real animals that were shot down during hunting trips by the prince. These include a zebra and a lion. Castle of Castagneto Po. Prince Al-Walid also acquired this grand residence in Turin, Italy for $25 million. But the 40-room castle has an interesting history. It was the childhood home of the musician, supermodel, and First Lady of France, Carla Bruni. The Bruni family invested ahead in refurbishing the building, including adding frescoes and marquetry floors. In 2009, the ownership of the home changed hands and became the possession of the royal. It is a traditional English-style home with awe-inspiring frescoes painted by by skilled artists, including Constantino Serrano and Francesco Gonin. The castle houses all the necessary amenities, including underfloor heating, lifts, and kitchens with ultra-modern facilities. All yachts. It would be a gross mistake to mention the riches of the royal family in Saudi Arabia without also listing the super yachts where they spend a significant amount of time each year, and needless to say, an insane percentage of their fortune. Prince Abdulaziz. This super yacht once held the title of the largest yacht in the world, until it was usurped by Super Yacht Dubai in 2006. It was built in 1984 by Helsinger Werft, a renowned yacht maker on the order of King Saud, who named her after his son, Prince Abdulaziz, who is now the current owner. It took 15 months to complete. To date, it remains in the Saudi royal fleet and is often used to conduct business activities as well as leisure outings. Over the years, this beautiful super yacht has undergone refurbishment and refittings, but it's still standing strong. It is valued at $100 million, with yearly maintenance expenses of $10 million. The yacht can house 64 guests and a 65-man crew. Kingdom 5K. Once owned by Saudi billionaire arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi, this 281-foot super yacht was built in 1980 and named Nabila after the businessman's daughter. It has since been purchased by Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, but it has a long history of ownership. In 1988, Khashoggi was in a financial crisis, so he sold off the yacht to the Sultan of Brunei. Afterward, Donald Trump acquired it for $29 million and named the yacht Trump Princess. By 1991, Trump had run into immense financial debt as a businessman and then sold the yacht to Al-Walid for $20 million. The prince renamed the yacht Kingdom 5KR, Kingdom being the name of his multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, 5 his lucky number, and KR the initials of his children. The Kingdom 5KR, originally built at $100 million, has standard bedrooms, a reception, a pool, and a helipad. Pegasus 8. In 2003, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman acquired this motor yacht for $120 million. It was built in Denmark by Royal Denship, a renowned yacht builder with several years of experience, and at the time of its construction, it was their biggest yacht yet. The vessel was once known as Princess Mariana, before her current owner renamed her Pegasus VIII. The remarkable features of this vessel are the exceptional interior and exterior designs, executed by Zaretti Interior Design, Luca Dini Design and Architecture, and Espen Oino International. It can accommodate as many as 26 crew members and just a dozen guests in its luxurious suites. Serene. Prince Mohammed has yet another yacht, which is quite popular because of its beauty and size. It is considered one of the largest super yachts in the world. It was delivered to Yuri Shefler, a well-known Russian vodka maker, for $330 million by Fincantieri, an Italian shipyard. Measuring 60 feet 8 inches, it was in the top 10 largest yachts in the world. Serene boasts an exclusive preserve of luxurious accommodations and top-of-the-class amenities. It is such a beautiful yacht that in 2014, one of the richest men in the world, Bill Gates, rented the yacht for $5 million a week. That same year, its current owner, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, was on a vacation in France when he spotted the astonishing vessel and made an immediate purchase to the tune of over $500 million. It can comfortably accommodate 24 guests in its 12 suites, as well as 62 crew members. There are speedboats, a VIP cabin, a sauna, a jacuzzi, a beauty salon, an elevator system, satellite communications, and full air conditioning. Tuak. Now, this is the personal yacht of the King of Saudi Arabia, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. It was built in 2002 by Van der Heesen, a Netherlands company. However, in 2006, it underwent an intensive redesign by Private Sea Projects, and major changes were made to the external and internal structure, as well as technical upgrades. It was designed by Michael Leach Design in collaboration with De Vogt Naval Architects. Its quarters are quite grand and can accommodate as many as 30 guests and a 21-man crew. Tuak cost about $10 million to build and costs between $8 to $10 million to maintain every year. Aircrafts. Again at the top of this list is the billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. In addition to this, the billionaire, who has a high taste for luxury, had plans to buy and customize an Airbus A380, which normally has a capacity for 400 passengers when used as a commercial aircraft. The plans were so grand that they commanded the attention of all and sundry in the aviation sector. In October 2007, he visited the Dubai Air Show in his Boeing 747 to place an order for a VIP session of what was considered the world's largest passenger airplane, and has now only been usurped by a modern version, the A380-800, which has more than double the capacity of the older model. The starting price of the A380 was $300 million, and the luxury customizations would have brought the cost to almost triple that price. The proposed aircraft was to include a garage for a Rolls-Royce, a concert hall, an elevator from tarmac to plane, 20 VIP suites, 5 supersized cabins, a Turkish bath, and a prayer room with electronic mats that could automatically detect the location of Mecca. In addition to these, there would also be a large boardroom with a table that could also double as a touchscreen and a spiral staircase. One of its most amazing features was a room from which the ground underneath would be visible while flying, to give a sort of Superman effect. Sadly, this vision never became a reality, and what was to be the largest and most luxurious aircraft in the world never saw the light of day. Some analysts say that the prince ran into a financial crisis barely a year after the project began, and as such couldn't keep up with payments, while others say that he suddenly lost interest in the idea. However, one thing that many people could agree on is that the grand plans were mostly unrealistic for many reasons. The A380 is a very big plane that was run by 4 massively fuel-consuming engines and could only be housed and managed by the biggest airports in the world, thus limiting its movement greatly. The prince's other private jets include an Airbus A321 and Hawker Siddeley 125. The royal family also has a Boeing 777, valued at $320 million, and belongs to Prince Mohammed bin Fahd, son of the late King Fahd. The full details of its interior are unknown, but it is rumored to be exquisitely furnished with the finest amenities and well-befitting for a royal experience mid-air. Cars. While the Crown Prince is known for his expensive yachts and residence, he is not very big on cars, although he has a few luxury brands in his fleet, such as Land Cruisers, Bugattis, Lamborghinis, and Ferraris. However, 2 other princes are highly popular in this regard, with multi-million-dollar fleets of the rarest, most exclusive cars. Let's begin with Prince Turki bin Abdullah, who owns a fleet of golden cars, including a golden Lamborghini, Bentley, and Rolls-Royce. All his exclusive cars are wrapped in head-turning pure gold vinyl, and he doesn't shy away from making a grand appearance every time he shows up in public. The prince is now in his early 30s, but has been building this collection since his 20s. His Lamborghini Aventador SV is one of only 500 in the world, and is worth $1.2 million. But the most expensive car in his collection is the Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe at $4 million. The rare Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG 6x6 also graces his collection at $2.5 million. Other cars in his fleet are a Lamborghini Huracan, which cost $1 million, a Porsche 918 Spyder for $1 million, a Bugatti Veyron for $1.5 million, and a Range Rover Vogue for $500,000. Unlike other Arab billionaires, he frequently visits London with his vast array of cars for short visits to cruise around the busy metropolis. One breathtaking picture shows a cheetah looking out of one of his luxurious golden cars with its gaze fixed on the camera as it stands tall in the driver's seat. Next is Prince Badr bin Mohammed bin Farman Al Saud's car collection, which is considered one of the most impressive in the world. He is a 37-year-old member of the royal family and a businessman who is worth billions of dollars. In 2016, he made the rounds when he acquired 2 rare limited collection cars, the Bugatti Chiron and Vision Gran Turismo concept car, models that even the rich only dream of. The 2 cars cost him over $5 million. In 2019, he also bought what was then referred to as the most expensive car in the world, with a staggering price of $18.2 million. The model was none other than the phenomenal Bugatti La Voiture, a quite pricey addition to his already expensive garage collection. Prince Badr has also been cited with a $5 million Ferrari LaFerrari Aperta Juventina and a $1.9 million Aston Martin 177, a controversial Da Vinci painting. It is important to also mention the Crown Prince's love for artworks, and one of his highly controversial acquisitions, an alleged Leonardo da Vinci painting known as Salvator Mundi. In 2017, Christie's organized an auction in New York, where the 500-year-old painting was sold for $450 million. This sale caused a stir, and it was termed the most expensive artwork ever purchased. For years, the buyer remained unknown, until it was revealed that the painting was sitting on a wall in in one of Prince Mohammed's super yachts, Serene. This painting genuinely has been a subject of discourse amongst art historians and scholars. Some believe that the painting is not 100% Leonardo da Vinci's work, although it did come from his studio. Some theories hold that it was painted by one of the master painter's apprentices, and he only put a finishing touch to it. In other circles, it is regarded as the male version of the incredibly famous Mona Lisa painting. In 2021, a documentary was released claiming that the prince had tried to force the Louvre to display the Salvator Mundi side by side with the Mona Lisa as an authentic piece painted by da Vinci himself. The French Museum declined. Business investments. The royal family is not only interested in lavish spending, but also heavily interested in building wealth by maximizing opportunities and setting up sources of revenue. One such endeavor is Saudi Aramco, which is considered to be one of the highest revenue-generating companies in the world and was named the most valuable company in the world based on market capital in 2022. This came following the Forbes Global 2000 ranking in 2020, where it ranked as the 5th largest public company in the world. It seems to have many feathers in its cap, as it was also ranked as the oil company with the second largest crude oil reserves and the largest daily oil production. With headquarters in the southern province of Saudi Arabia, from which global operations of Saudi Aramco are controlled, its tentacles extend to cover several sectors, including exploration, production, refining, marketing, and distribution. However, when it was first instituted, the company's operations were to be limited to oil production alone, but the Saudi Arabian government wanted the nation to have a central system concerned with oil production. Consequently, the country's oil refining company, Samarek, was merged with Saudi Aramco. This is no surprise, as the oil-rich Arab country has over 100 oil and gas fields, including the largest onshore and offshore oil fields, the Ghawar field and the Safaniya field, respectively. As of 2013, Saudi Aramco's total crude oil production was an astonishing 3.4 billion barrels. This number has continued to skyrocket, and the company now owns the world's largest single hydrocarbon network, the Master Gas System, with close to 300 trillion standard cubic feet of natural gas reserves. Today, Saudi Aramco's refining company is 5.4 million barrels per day, and operations are being extended to the petrochemical industry. In recent times, the Saudi leadership, with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman at the forefront of several of its activities, is making moves to diversify the economy and reduce dependence on oil production. To successfully execute this, the Public Investment Fund has been enriched. In early 2022, it received 4% of Aramco's shares to the tune of about $80 billion. This has largely contributed to multiple investments in diverse sectors, including football and automobiles. Its portfolio has top companies such as Uber and Lucid Motors, an electric car manufacturer in California. By the third quarter of 2022, the PIF had acquired shares worth $7 billion in IS companies such as Microsoft, Alphabet, Adobe Systems, Zoom, and Starbucks. In Europe, its stakes in Royal Dutch Shell, Total, Eni, and Equinor are worth about $1 billion. In 2021, it also took over ownership of the British soccer team Newcastle United, paying about $370 million. This is not the only sports interest of the PIF, as it also founded a professional golf tournament known as the Live Golf. To stand out from other competitors such as the World Golf Tour, Premier Golf League, and PGA Tour, it adopted a different strategy. It was positioned as the richest golf tournament ever held, with prize monies superseding that of other tournaments. Immense resources were also deployed to ensure that star golf players chose to participate. The first season took place in June 2022 and was tagged the Live Golf Invitational event, consisting of 48 players, 7 54-hole tournaments, and a team championship even at the season final. It cost the PIF about $2 billion to pull off, while the total prize money was $255 million, with the winner guaranteed to go home with $4 million, almost double that of the PGA Championship. In 2017, plans to build a new city with no streets, no cars, and no carbon emissions were announced. The proposed NEOM project is underway and expected to cost about $500 billion. It will be a self-dependent city with top-of-the-line facilities such as renewable energy systems, high-speed public transport systems, hospitals, green parks and gardens, and schools. The proposed city, which has been called a wild dream out of a sci-fi movie by many, is being built along the Red Coast. When completed, projections indicate that it will generate close to 400,000 jobs and generate billions in revenue. The global SWF released a report in 2022 stating that the PIF's governance, sustainability, and resilience score score had risen to 40% from its previous 28%. Amidst this, the Saudi Arabian government continues to face huge criticism for human rights violations and accusations of trying to water down their atrocities with sports washing. One such accusation regarding the violation of human rights is the assassination of Jamal Khashoggi, a journalist and Saudi national. The monarchy has, however, refuted these claims and allegations. Others have also raised concerns regarding the activities of the PIF, stating that it is one of the least transparent sovereign wealth funds in the world. Especially alarming is the amount of control Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman holds over the dealings of the PIF. Yet it seems to be on an investment spree, spreading its influence internationally and building wealth in as many sectors as possible. In addition to all these, the royal family also has a world-renowned billionaire who has made an outstanding mark in the business world. He is none other than Al-Walid bin Talal, grandson of Saudi Arabia's first monarch, King Ibn Saud. As of 2022, his net worth was $16 billion. He is the founder of Kingdom Holding Company, a canopy for his many business interests and worldwide portfolio. It was established in 1980 as an investment company with holdings in diverse industries, including real estate, tourism, hospitality, entertainment, petrochemicals, technology, aviation, financial services, and media. Kingdom Holding Company has a rich history of investments in top companies like McDonald's, Apple, Amazon, eBay, Procter & Gamble, Marvel Comics, and several others. Currently, it owns over 20% of the Canadian-based Four Seasons hotels and resorts, and became the second-largest shareholder of Twitter in the last quarter of 2022. With such an affinity for business and wealth generation, the royal family may actually be amassing wealth faster than it is spending. However, only the future can tell. Till then, we keep our fingers crossed as we admire their luxurious lifestyle from a distance. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more interesting updates.